So just wanted to show everybody a quick video about changing the handle on a guitar case. I did some research online and there were lots of different questions from people about brands and whether you needed to mess with the rivets or pop this or what different kinds of things. And I have a Taylor guitar, so Taylor guitar case as well. And when I talked to them about it, they actually recommended springing open these loops right here on the handle. So you have the handle itself, these little loops, and then these brackets that actually are mounted on the case itself. And when you get a replacement handle from them, it comes with these little loops here. And so what they recommended is actually that you take just a pair of needle nose pliers, pop it in that loop, and then you just pull it open. I'm sure you could come up with other ways you could do it. That's what they recommended. It worked pretty well for me. Just to stick it in there and just pull straight apart. Don't mess with like thumbs or whatnot, because that's it gets a little bit ineffective. So anyway, and before that though, when you're getting ready, you've got your new handle. I've got one loop already done. Before you actually do that, you also are going to need to be able to squeeze it back together once you've got the new handle ready in place. So what I actually recommend would take a pair of Channellocks, that's what they recommended using, and lining the teeth with tape of some kind. I'm using electrical tape, but I found that didn't actually protect the metal enough. It still left a few nicks on the loops after I squeezed them together. So what I did was I also grabbed some paper, like just an 8.5 by 11, folded it a bunch of times so it's fairly narrow. So it's still a lot bigger than this, but it gives you a lot better space to work with when you're squeezing stuff. But before you actually pull these things off, to find the channel that you're going to need, take the Channellocks and find a spot which channel is going to match that loop the best, where it's still attached with just a little bit of space left in the handles, not much. That way you can still squeeze a little bit, because that metal's going to spring back a tiny bit. But you want to be able to have some good leverage and know that you're not over tightening that loop and clenching down on anything. So that's what I would recommend to start. So measure your channel lock, line it with some electrical tape, just cut off a strip, cut it in half, line top and bottom. Grab your little piece of paper here. Once you've got the old handle pulled off with the loops and the needle nose pliers, then what you'll want to do is you have to open up the new loops as well, because they send it to you all closed down and together. You'll have to open those up same way, but just thread that on there like so. Grab one side and then kind of lay the paper around that loop. It's almost like it is the Channellocks themselves. And got to make sure that doesn't slip out, because it's wide enough, obviously, that the handle could come out in the first place. So just push it off to one side. And then take the Channellock, just lay it over, line up that hole underneath, and then give it a good squeeze. Make sure to get that nice and straight so it doesn't go crooked. Oops. There we go. And that's connected, and that's protected the metal so it doesn't get those little gouges in it. It's just combination paper and electrical tape. And they said as long as your anchors are good, these brackets on here, you don't actually want to mess with the rivets at all. You want to leave those alone. I pulled off the foam a little bit underneath just to see what it looked like, and it was nice enough underneath. I didn't want to mess with it, and they are still really solid on my case, so this was just going to be a lot easier. I thought originally that actually messing with the loops was going to hurt the metal and it was going to weaken over time, but they said that's how they expect you to do it. So alright, so just to make things easier for you, mess with the loops, don't bother with the rivets. All you need really is needle nose pliers, Channellocks, and if you don't care about the little marks on your loops, that's it. Otherwise, some electrical tape and a sheet of paper, and that's all you need for the whole job.